Okay, let's pick up now after our break with our section dealing with traditional leadership styles. And as we talk about this aspect of our course, biblical leadership, we need to understand that traditional styles fall into three very general categories. The first is autocratic leadership, which is sometimes referred to as the military model, the need to know basis. Everything in this style of leadership is approved by the boss or the superior officer. Yes, sir. No, sir. Of course, sir. This works well with children because you don't sit down and have a dialogue with a 2-year-old approaching your hot stove or walking out into a busy street. You say, stop. That sounds very autocratic. This also appears often in church planting. Church planners rarely have people around them who know what to do, so they call the shots. So it's important for us to recognize that there are times when you use autocratic leadership when it's necessary. But as the church grows, you don't hold on to that. You parcel out those pieces of authority. You empower other people. If after 5 years you're still running everything, then you have a leadership problem. Now, the opposite of autocratic leadership is what we call free rein leadership. It completely changes the way that you operate from what we just talked about. Free rein means just letting the reins go. It is a common academic model. If you have been a dean of a school, as I have been, I can tell you that you cannot use autocratic leadership with PhD students, half of whom may have more experience than you. You cannot lead as an autocratic ruler. You must lead with a free rein. And if you can't lead free rein in that situation, you are likely to fail. Now, the third category we want to talk with you about in this section is what we call team leadership. Now, in this model, decentralization is the key. And decentralization means moving things away from the center, pushing things down from the top. You decentralize everything: decision making, authority, the solving of problems. As you use this team leadership model, problems should be solved as close to the line of fire as possible. For example, no Sunday school teacher should make a decision that a student or an assistant student could make. No superintendent should make a decision that a teacher could make. No Christian education director should make a decision that a superintendent could make. And no pastor should make a decision that a Christian education director could make. That's decentralization. Too many ministries are far too centralized. That is, they hold power in a small group of people or even in one person. And in our opinion, that is unbiblical leadership. I want you to think of these three styles as a continuum with autocratic on the right, free rein on the left, and team leadership, which we sometimes refer to as participatory, in the middle. And as you think about this image, one thing is clear here. All leaders must know their styles. They must understand how leadership takes place in a given situation. And we call this intentional selection of leadership style. Sadly, too few Christian leaders have an intentional selection of leadership style. They just do what comes to them naturally. They do what they saw their pastors or elders do, or maybe they act upon whatever they read in a book. So the question that we have for you today as we go through this section is, what is your leadership style? This is a question that we certainly hope that you will be able to answer as you go through this lesson in this course. Is your style autocratic, free reign, or team leadership? You may have come upon it accidentally, or you may have deliberately cultivated it. So as we look at some of the material through the rest of this lesson, we pray that it will aid you in analyzing your own leadership style.